Are we live?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody. Dean, you
great.
can just assume we're live. You don't have to ask it every week. But hello, everybody.
I just like
Welcome
to make sure.
to No Drinking in the Theatre. I am your rueful host, Paul. With me, as always, to my screen left?
Who are you
To my
pointing at?
screen right is...
Cool.
Jason. Like I'm like it's actually isn't it to your left?
Well, it's my right on the screen, isn't it?
No.
Yeah,
That's why I said
see-
screen right. You know?
Okay, whatever.
It's
Like stage
okay.
left.
Anyone looking at this would be saying it's to your left.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Exactly.
no, what? No, it'd be to the right.
No, it'd be to
You
your
read
left.
right to
okay,
left,
it's to
left
their
to
right.
right.
It's your left. It's your left.
No, it's screen right.
It's
But
Yeah, but
I'm
it's your
Jason.
left.
Anyways, let's just
Are
move
you
on.
having a stroke?
No, you're like
No, I'm
you're
having a
completely
coffee.
wrong, Paul. But anyways, let's keep going.
Okay, who else is with us? Dean, introduce yourself. Say your name so the people know
I'm
who you
Dean,
are.
and I'm also stage right. Hey, what's
Yes.
up? How are we?
There we
Cool.
go.
Great.
That's good. Hello, everyone.
my
Well,
left.
welcome to another very smooth production that we have for you tonight. As always, kicking it off. What are we drinking?
Oh.
To my right, Jason.
They're both to your right.
Shut up.
There we are.
What's actually
We're
your
left.
left?
We're to your left.
What you drinking, Jace?
Well, I'm just checking the stream, so maybe just move on to Dean, because the stream seems to have paused. I'm not even sure if it's working right now. But
Okay.
Good.
but
Dean,
yeah,
what are you drinking?
Yeah, just see.
Well, I am drinking coffee, but again, as I was last week, and hang on, let's see if this is more impressive.
Okay. No.
That was.
It kind of sounded like a
wasn't.
little
That was
fart,
shit.
to be honest.
That was a little fart.
You got a whole bottle
which,
of
unfortunately,
Perry.
you didn't hear.
Nice.
I have my fake cider again
Perry.
because Perry.
Yeah. It's Perry if it's not apple.
Well, it says sparkling cider.
it's wrong,
and
though.
You said, well, I know, and so that's why I said fake cider. I'm just
It's
going off
Perry.
what
That's
you're
what it's
saying.
called. That is technically
Yeah,
what
but
you're
I-
drinking.
Okay, I have to just blindly go with that.
Yes, I'm
and
the
assume-
host.
Okay. Send me your references.
This is like like I'm not happy with the amount of power that you think that the host has. Like
This is
you're telling us
payback.
his right is left, and you're telling him he's not
This
drinking
is
whatever
payback
he's
for the
drinking.
ride or die philosophy that Jason imposed on us during Nerds Before Birds. Now I'm in the driver's seat and we're heading towards the cliff, boys.
Oh my gosh. Look at
Jason,
me,
what are you
right,
drinking?
I'm the captain now.
So I'm drinking Four Pines. I haven't had one
Look at
before,
you.
but yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
Didn't you have
Four
one
Pines.
Very
last
good
week?
beer.
No, I had 4X last week, but
Oh,
yeah,
fuck, okay.
yeah,
It's
It's
all
gone
good.
up a couple of rungs on the ladder
Yeah.
there.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
absolutely.
Well,
what about you, Paul?
As a
What are you
celebration for getting back to writing the script that I did no work on in the last week.
Nice.
But tonight I sat down and wrote
What are you
3 whole
celebrating then?
lines. I've
Congratulations.
gone back to the top shelf
Yeah.
with a stone and
Stunning
wood,
wood, yep.
because I'm a good boy
Mate.
Yeah,
and I deserve
3
this.
lines is worth at least 2 bottles.
is-
I've
Okay.
introduced a
Just-
scene.
Just out of curiosity, is stone and wood the 3 lines?
Damn, he's good. One of the lines was interior, location, time of day,
right.
enter. And then it said some stuff underneath it. I'm like, oh, count that.
I was just looking around the room and just writing what he sees. Bed, pillow.
The man sat at his desk, typing away, looking at one monitor. Oh, wait, no, it was 2. Hang on a second, he thought. It was 3.
Where did that third
He was
monitor
getting
come from?
thirsty.
Apparently,
He
I
will
also
go
don't know
look
how to
for a
write
drink.
I have inner monologues in my scene descriptions. Well, wonderful. I'm glad you guys aren't squares.
looking
this
forward
week
to
and
reading it,
Continue
yeah.
to drink with me.
Yeah.
What?
We're encouraging you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, enabling me.
Yeah.
What have you lads been watching this week? We'll start with Dean this
jeez.
time. Dean, what have you been watching this week?
Not much. Bye.
Cool.
No,
Jason.
I have. But okay, so I've been continuing on with only murders in the building.
Oh.
It is keeping up to date with that. It is not bad. Hey, look
Yeah.
up on the screen. Yeah. I mean, Steve Martin Short, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's starting to get I think it's a little bit slow, but it's starting to pick up a bit of steam.
Don't go anything into detail on the most recent episode because that's
definitely
literally
not.
where I'm up to. Okay?
Or the 3 or 4 before that one, please.
or you
No,
want,
I'm
like,
Three
not-
of them. You know what? I might
Right.
actually watch some more after this podcast.
yeah.
As I mentioned before, I've written up a spoiler prevention manual for me to follow on because apparently I'm pretty bad
Yes.
Yeah.
at spoilers. So I've tried to give myself
absolutely.
Let's
some
go through the
guidelines.
manual. Tell us about the manual, then.
We'll go through it in a bit later. But
okay.
right now I'll tell you what we're going. What else I'm watching? What else?
What else?
Oh, I've finished playing Uncharted 4.
Oh,
Cool.
I'll say
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Which was a game that I was so excited to play when it came out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Finally got around to it.
Oh, congrats,
And
man.
it was good.
It's a pretty looking
really good
game.
game.
It is a
real
good
I
game.
love the Uncharted movies.
So you're looking forward to the Uncharted movies when they come out? Like
I mean,
with-
it's got to be different because Mark Wahlberg and
Tom Holland.
but
Yes. What a weird
they're-
casting choice.
very weird choice.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
then also I was watching, like, playing Uncharted 4 and looking at the character design. And let's be honest, like, any white male actor can kind of
Have you
play
seen
that role.
for the longest
It's a
time?
very generic kind
sorry.
of looking. So it's a very generic looking character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't look anything like the guy like playing him. So.
White guy. For the longest
That's
time,
all
all
they had
the
in the
Uncharted
script.
fans said that if there was ever a movie, and this has gone back a few years back when he was kind of a bit more in his prime, but Nathan Fillion, they were like, he absolutely is
100%.
Nathan Drake.
Well, he did the
they
fan
did
film,
a fan-made film with him as Drake.
I only just found out about this week and I started watching it.
it's really good.
pretty
It's
awesome.
really well
Yeah.
done. He nails it.
Good,
He absolutely kills
but
it.
he's too old even when they
He
made
is.
that.
It doesn't
Like,
work. Like
yeah.
it gets you like 90% there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the character in the games is getting older.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've played number 4 or not.
I
Yeah,
played
I've
none of them.
You played none of them.
I don't own a
okay.
PlayStation.
I've only
Kinda like-
played number 4. And
oh, really?
I started I started some of the other ones because they actually came as like one of the
like a bundle, right?
yeah, like a
Oh,
bundle,
the
but it was like a
3-pack
free
thing?
free bundle on the PlayStation Network at one stage, and I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
yep, that's mine, kind of thing. So I got like all 3 of them, and yeah, like I got a little bit through the third one, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a sucker for really good graphics. And the third one, which is weird because I play on console. Don't judge
Yeah,
me.
but I mean, we're movie guys, though.
Yeah.
Like, we're very critical of
Is it just because
graphics.
the graphics
Yeah.
are dated? Is that why?
Yeah, literally.
Because honestly, the gameplay number 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, right.
I think it's just consistently amazing the whole game.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
number 4 is good, but it kind of picks up really like heaves at the end
Yeah,
of the
okay.
game.
Yeah.
And it's not like a little bit feels a little bit slow and like getting there. Number 3 is just like balls to the wall the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's got amazing set pieces. That's the one where like, you know, you're like, it's just like insane scenes that you're playing that you be like on film, this would be one of the best stunts ever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're jumping free falling out of a cargo plane. That's you've blown up and
Yeah,
it's like
as
midair.
it's exploding,
And
yeah.
without a parachute, and you actually have to try to control and shoot people and then grab onto like a cargo
Yeah.
crate to then get the parachute to go, like all that in gameplay. And then like there's like pretty much like a Poseidon adventure scene where you're on a cruise liner that gets toppled
Yeah,
from a
right.
tidal wave and you're like in that and trying to like get through. It's a very
That's cool.
fun game. Yeah.
I had a similar feeling
all
with
good.
because I played all the Lara Croft ones.
Yeah.
Because that was like effectively Microsoft's answer to Uncharted, and they were okay. They weren't bad games.
Yeah, exclusive to Xbox until it
exactly.
wasn't exclusive to Xbox.
That's right. That's most things these
Yeah,
days.
I think they changed up the Tomb Raider games to be more like Uncharted, right?
They,
Yeah.
oh
Is
my
that fair to
goodness,
say?
yes. They
So
were
much
very,
so.
like, to the point where watching the movie, with the live action one that came out a couple of years back,
Yeah.
there were moments where you're just like, I could see just like an X popping up on screen to like make the jump.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for
get off
sure.
the plane, jump, quick time event, slide down the thing, stab a guy.
I
it's
haven't
good.
played much Lara Croft, but I did watching that newer movie. I did watch that thinking, man, this feels like Uncharted.
Oh yeah,
This feels
yeah.
really-
It's
That's-
so
That
much.
is the, that's
so
the
much
feel they're
so.
going for. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say. I'd say if you play Uncharted, I've never touched it, but I think even I would prefer to play Uncharted. But
I didn't mind
Lara
the
Croft was
Tomb Raider, like the reboot game, the first one.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. Like I think the thing with that is the deaths are so gnarly
Yeah.
with
Right.
whenever you like mess up and she dies, you don't want to die
okay.
because they're so horrific. And you're like, no.
Oh.
There's like one where she's going down like river rapids, and
Yeah.
if you miss the tree branch that you meant to grab onto, she'll go even further quickly and then get like a tree branch stuck straight through her neck, kind of thing. And she doesn't die straight away. She's like that for a little while before she dies.
Most of the gameplay, it sort of
like,
feels like you kind of develop this connection of it's a little bit less. I don't know if it's just like as like a guy gamer perspective, but it's a bit less. I'm Lara Croft. I'm doing this. It's more. My God, do I need to keep this person safe?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want her to die. I like her.
Actually,
we have a connection.
Yeah,
they've
absolutely.
actually managed to bring genuine stakes into the game.
Yeah.
Like you genuinely do not want to die.
You don't want her to die because it's
Yeah.
such a song and dance every time it happens.
Yeah.
She gets one
That's
rebar
nuts.
through the throat, and you're like, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really need to kill these guys faster.
Oh man, you're not going to die, but the emotional trauma is going to be real.
That's
right.
so
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Because
There you go.
and it does bring like the stakes up so much more that like you're not just respawning at a point and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'll go back. But yeah,
You're gonna have like a Casino Royale moment. Who was the Ava Green? You know when she kills the guy in the stairwell, and then she's like sitting in the shower, and she's like, I can't get the blood off.
Yeah,
That's kind of how it feels when you have a bad session with Tomb Raider.
You just
like,
want a Daniel
oh,
Craig
no.
to come in. You just need a Daniel Craig
You
to
just
come
have
and
blood
suck
on your
off your
hands.
fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig just waves goodbye as you like drown.
As he turns around and walks back into the ocean.
Oh yeah.
in his
I
tiny
ain't
little blue
sucking on those
Speedos.
fingers, boy.
Cool. Okay, so mostly just Murder in the Building.
Yeah, which is what I've been watching too this week. I've
nice.
been right into it.
Hey, look at
I'm
that.
really enjoying
Segue.
it. Yeah.
Nice.
Getting back
Very
to
nice.
that one. Back to
That's
this.
right, back on topic. Yep.
Back
Very
on
good.
topic.
Back on
So what
topic.
else have you been
Excellent.
watching other than this?
Apart from that, I've finishing off a couple of shows that like the stragglers kind of thing. So I finished AP Bio.
Oh yeah.
I really want that to keep going.
It's a good show.
It just finishes, and yeah, it's just like, come on. I feel like it definitely should have had a fifth season, but it's still good anyway.
Has it been picked up for a fifth or?
Not at the moment.
But it was also, it's
don't
one of those shows that originally didn't get picked up for a second season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
kind of just threw the first season out as like, let's see how we go.
Let's see how it goes.
After a good amount of time, they were like, all right, let's get a second season. It's kind of like, it's a season by season show.
right.
That's why each season
Okay.
ending kind of feels a little bit more, like it feels cemented. You could end the show on any of the seasons and it would be okay.
Possibly.
Mostly.
I'm without giving too much away, because again, looking at this spoiler manual, I do feel like another season to wrap up a few more things would be nice for AP Bio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
That's
season
if he
4
even
still
wants
good.
to. I mean, haven't they just started
Yeah.
filming the new season of Always Sunny?
He's getting more involved in Always Sunny than
Yeah.
he has the last couple of years.
And also the guy, you ever watched Mythic Quest?
Yeah. With the other
Yeah,
Rob Mac,
Rob
the other Mac,
McElhenry?
McElhenney,
The guy who got blasted by an arrow in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was one of
He's-
the extras in Game of Thrones who got shot through the eye
Yeah, in like
No
the final
way.
season. Yeah, on the boat.
in like season 7.
Wow.
He's also like, because I've been watching the Mindy Project and he appears in that a fair few times, and he's in like the final episode, like because he's the cousin of one of the main characters in the show, Morgan. He's like Morgan's cousin, and he's like super like rough, and he ends up doing like his wedding ceremony at the very last episode, and it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
just yeah, it's really
That's
good.
right.
That was actually what I
he's
finished
a-
this week. But yeah,
The Mindy Project.
wonderful.
yeah, the Mindy Project.
The Mindy
yeah,
Project.
Finished watching
Nice.
that with Shell.
You
I-
need to get out of lockdown.
Watching,
I liked it. Like it's something that's a little bit easier watching than like after watching like Squid Game or something like that. Like you definitely need like to
You need
to
your
watch
Mindy
that off.
Project.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I said off
Yeah.
air. I watched. If anyone has seen Squid Game, I've watched the Marble episode.
Yeah,
Guang
Oh, boy.
or something like that.
yeah.
And I had to watch. I think I started watching like Big Bang Theory because I'm like, I just need something that is 20 minutes. It's garbage. There's no stakes
Yep.
at all. I need to feel happy for a bit.
Yes, absolutely.
So I need to be reminded that television can be this as well.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel good whilst watching things too.
Oh man. The other thing I've seen, we actually went to the cinemas this week.
Nice.
And saw
How was it?
Shang-Chi. Hang on, let me refer to my
How did it
spoilers.
smell?
What can I
No,
say?
how was the
Okay.
cinema?
How was the cinema?
How did it feel?
I missed the stench of Tuggerah Cinemas.
It's the stench of popcorn and ass.
I love the smell of stale popcorn in the morning. Oh man, it was I love going back to the cinemas. It was good. A lot more, needing to check in and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, just fun getting out of the house
Was
again, which was
was
good.
the movie good? Yeah, just out of curiosity.
Was the
what
movie
did you
good?
watch?
Okay, looking back at my list of spoilers. Okay, so
Say
spoiler
the title
sheet.
if you want.
I have seen Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense with the trailer.
I can confirm
Yeah.
that there is a character in it called Shang-Chi.
Cool.
I can confirm that the actors that have been announced are in it.
Cool.
If their characters if the roles that they are playing have not been announced, I can't say any more than that. I can confirm that there are characters from Marvel Comics that exist in this movie.
Okay, that's a bit of a spoiler. But
And
Yeah.
I can confirm that I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
yeah.
That is, yes. It's,
What
I will
would
say,
you, if you could equate it to another Marvel movie, not through like plot or similarity, like you know how like when Guardians came out and people were like, "Holy crap, this is actually amazing," because no one expected
Yeah.
this to be. Is this on a similar level to Guardians?
it is similar in the fact that it is a unique style within the MCU and it aces it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's in the realm of what Guardians did, what the Winter Soldier did, what Black Panther did, kind of thing. It's basically, and like it is the best fight choreography that has been in the MCU so
Awesome.
far.
Yeah, right.
Which is like, it's a martial arts movie. And it makes sense because it's the cinematographer from the Matrix films and it's the stunt team. It's Jackie Chan's stunt team doing all the choreography and stunt coordinating.
Can I interject a fun fact?
Sure.
They've
if
come
it's
out
fun.
and said, I think it might have been Warner or someone, whoever
Yeah.
owns Venom. And they said
Yeah.
that
Simon.
there are scenes in the Venom Carnage movie. There's
Yeah.
helicopters in the background. All of those helicopters are from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Because they were also filming in the same city and at the same night they were too. So there's just like, if there's random
Wow.
helicopters in the background, it's just a whole different movie being made.
Wasn't that-
Unless
Oh,
they
that's
pull them
brilliant.
out in post, which would suck.
Yeah.
No, that
I
would
doubt
not
it. Why
be
would you?
fun.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious though. I was doing my best to check because I know that a lot of the Shang-Chi was filmed in Australia, in Sydney. You can't really tell though, which is always my favorite thing.
Yeah.
When you can't tell that something's been filmed in your backyard.
It's kind of like, whoa, that was a big thunderstorm going on out there. So it's kind of like with Ghost Rider, when they shot that in Australia, you can see like the gum trees in the background and stuff, like with the eucalyptus leaves and
Or,
stuff like that.
Or the monsters
Mission
in love or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Mission
Monsters of
Impossible
Love, you
2
can tell.
is
Love monsters?
Mission Impossible 2 is probably like one of the biggest
Oh,
offenders
yeah.
of
They're
it.
Well,
getting
no,
chased by a
that's-
Ford Falcon with
that's-
yellow license plates. Aren't they in Australia?
Isn't
They're
it?
in Australia.
No, yeah, they're meant to be in Australia, right?
That's where the
This is
Chimera
true.
virus was.
Yeah.
This is true.
That's
But it's
okay.
like it's one of those.
Silly.
Okay, so if it's set in Australia, it's fine.
What's that other movie? Australia?
Oh man, that
You can
Crocodile
tell it's
Dundee.
Darwin.
Oh my goodness. But like the Matrix, for example, that's
The Matrix
not
is a
meant
good
to be.
example. Although it is funny because I showed
Australia.
my housemate it for the first time a few weeks ago. And when they do the scene, I didn't say anything about it being in Australia until they did the scene where the woman in the red dress,
Yeah.
and he walks past the Commonwealth Bank
Place.
building and the central CBD, like the banking district, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Where did they film this?" And I'm like, "Where do you reckon they filmed it?" And he goes, "It looks like Sydney." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Sydney."
I think they get away with that pretty well, though. Like,
It's fine.
for the most part. Like, and I think also the fact that the Matrix is sort of like whenever you get like those nice wide cityscapes, you get like an amalgamation of a whole heap of different cities, which like they did that on purpose so that you don't have one city that it is pictured, because it's sort of just a computer program of a city.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's basically everyone's kind of like subconscious idea of what a city looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you like, it's like GTA or whatever. It's like, just here is generic city.
Generic city.
Go. Although that's something GTA is LA, but whatever.
But yeah, no, Shang-Chi, it's great movie. Definitely like, references other Marvel movies in great ways.
I'm assuming there's a button scene.
A button scene?
The
like as in end credits scene?
Yeah.
There is at least one end credit scene, yes.
Was it? Is there a few? You can say that. I mean,
there are two. Yeah. I'd say stick around to the very end of the credits.
Yeah, stop spoiling it, man. Come on.
And one other thing is, so the stunt coordinator. I'm
like
following my manual, Jason.
Seconds away.
I'm being very careful.
He's not a spoiler that there's two. I'd rather him tell me that there's two post credits, so I don't have to be that dickhead on my phone looking up like Shang-Chi post credits.
Like
yes, there's two. Great.
Yeah.
It's like, if I need to go to the bathroom, I want to know if I need to hold it or not. But what was I going to say? Stunt coordinator for this movie, Brad Allen. He was tragically passed away 2 months ago.
Damn.
Oh, that's
right
sad.
when this movie was released in the States. And so, seeing it as it comes up at the end, it's dedicated to Brad Allen.
Yeah, right.
And I think that this movie is a perfect example of how brilliant this guy was. Like, he's the only white guy that was on Jackie Chan's stunt team.
Wild. That's huge.
Yeah. And he's just, he's done he's the stunt coordinator he was stunt coordinator for Scott Pilgrim, the Kingsman movies. He's, and this I think is one he's going to go down as like one of the standout movies that he worked on.
Awesome.
So it's just, it's very, like there are moments where it's like, feels very much Jackie Chan, like peak Jackie Chan kind of fight choreography, and it's just fun. I love how they play around with the different styles of martial arts throughout the film, and there's reason for different styles, which is great.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say.
Cool.
Okay.
It's good.
Beautiful.
Check it out when you
can
are vaccinated and can.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. It's going to be one of the first things I do when I get it.
I'm not running out to the cinemas anytime soon, but
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Risk it.
When you feel safe enough to do so, go see.
Well, it's
Shang-Chi.
coming to Disney soon, isn't it? Like, aren't they Disney Plusing it at some point?
November, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you feel safe enough to pay $30 or $35 on Disney Plus in November, do that.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Because I mooch off Jason.
There you go.
He would though.
If you
so
feel
that's what
safe
I'm
enough to
hoping
do
for.
that, then go for that.
How about you, Jace? What have you been watching? Aside from Only Murders in the Building.
Besides Only Murders in the Building, I've been also. I watched a few movies this week. So I watched Promising Young Woman, which that's really good, but it's kind of like one of those like really hard to watch movies kind of thing. Yeah. But like I think it's like a really good movie.
I've heard great things about that.
Yeah. And then I also watched Till Death, which is not good.
How can it not be good though? It's got Megan Fox in it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
She was great in
only
Rogue.
makes gold.
Man.
It's not the worst movie that she's made, but
Is it better than Rogue?
Oh yes, it's actually a lot better.
Is Rogue the worst movie she's made?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that's probably the worst movie she's made.
I was streaming the other night, and it kind of just like devolved into everyone just like we just started watching trailers, and we watched the Resident Evil trailer, and it looked atrocious.
The new one.
I was like, this looks crap. This looks similar to, and then I showed everyone on the stream Rogue trailer, and everyone's like, they have guns though, right? I'm like, yeah, they do. And it's like, and how many lines?
Oh, man.
It's one
Just
line.
one line.
I don't get it.
And the worst thing about the movie is when they don't actually hide behind anything. They're like running out in the open fields, and nobody's getting killed that is like a main character, but for whatever reason, they just don't take cover. Like,
what about? I mean, no. The worst thing is when they're crossing that tiny little area and a crocodile comes out of nowhere.
That's true.
Like, surely someone sees a crocodile in a small puddle. Anyway, we have much stronger thoughts about it.
What
have you been watching, Paul? What have you been up to?
I somehow went through 3 seasons of The Good Place. Not sure how I did it, but I've really just plowed through it. I think it's because there's only like 8 or 12 episodes in a season, and you just kind of put it on.
Yeah, the half-hour episodes, right?
Pardon?
You just like the half-hour episodes. You just smash through them.
It's cheeky little 20-minute.
Yeah.
And so other than that, I've watched a few more episodes of Squid Game, and what I've mostly been watching is just binge watching Supernatural. So like I finally finished season 1.
Yeah, right.
Like 24 episodes at 40-something minutes a piece. Takes a while.
Nice.
Takes a while.
Well, congratulations. How many more seasons do you have left?
Of Supernatural? I've been instructed to stop watching after season 6.
Got it.
Because in the words of my friend, Liam, for example, who was on the podcast, he's like, after season 6 is when they no longer have a storyline and you can tell.
What do you think the chances are that you're going to get to season 6 and keep watching? Because you're either curious or already too attached?
It's a flat 0. Like, I'm not committing to a 15-season show. This is not like anime.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't care that
That's kind of like I was telling you guys the week before, or a few weeks ago. I was telling you how now I'm watching The Walking Dead again, but via the recap.
Why?
Via the recap.
Yeah.
Like I'm just watching 3-minute recaps because I want to know what happens, but I don't want to watch a whole episode.
That's fair.
It's so rubbish.
And you don't care enough to make the jokes yourself, so you got to
listen to someone else. I'm like, oh, that's a funny joke for an episode I haven't watched, but okay.
I need to be informed before I rip it off.
But it's been the best way to watch it. Like. Because I don't waste any time. It's 3-minute episodes instead of watching like a whole 45-minute episode. So
it was like the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones. I found the what's his name?
I don't know.
The Aussie bloke. Damn it!
What show?
No, Aussie. Is it Aussie Man? I think it's just Aussie Man. Yeah, Aussie Man on YouTube. I love watching his his recaps of Game of Thrones.
You're like, what's his name? What's his name? The Aussie.
What's that? Man. That Aussie bloke. He's a man. He's Aussie. What's his name?
Man Aussie.
Man Aussie. Man Aussie. There you go.
Reviews.
So
I love watching his recaps because they were often a lot more enjoyable.
But you'd still watch the episode with that.
Sorry?
You'd still watch the episode though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A small part of me kind of wants to rewatch. Like, I'd like to watch the first... Like, if I did, like, all 7 seasons, but, like, the first half of the last season. If I stopped at Winterfell...
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't mind rewatching that whole show.
Well, maybe this new prequel show might be a good excuse to revisit Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't look too bad.
Yes, that came out this... Do we want to chat about that?
Yeah, I don't...
What else have I been watching?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was a good place. That would have been a great place to segue. But I'm sorry.
It probably would have been.
What else? Yeah. What else have you been watching?
Well, one of the coolest things I have been watching this week is that they dropped a trailer called House of Targaryen.
You bastard! You fucking bastard!
Oh man! For that one, Jace.
Wait, are we live? Because I'm swearing too much.
We are live.
He's just drinking and swearing on the internet.
Sorry, internet.
What an incel over here. No, I can't think of anything else that I've watched. Mostly just been Supernatural, and then just like random crap.
Awesome. Great.
Well,
thank you for that.
Hey,
I really appreciate
you're welcome.
you just completely demolishing my segue.
Thank you.
Love it. So
that was funny.
What do we talk about now?
One of the biggest things that I saw this week, we can talk about that. I don't think we touched on the Targaryen trailer.
No, not yet.
We haven't.
What are your thoughts? You like it? It looks good? Yeah?
I hate it.
Yeah? Why?
No, it looks great. It looks. I was gonna.
Was that Matt Smith in the trailer?
Yeah, Matt Smith's in it.
He's creepy. He's a creepy looking boy. When he's not a doctor.
When he's got blonde hair.
Yeah, when he looks like a Nazi.
When he's got the creepy Malfoy thing going.
That's right. He was kind of creepy in...
Did he play a Nazi in something?
Terminator Genesis?
I'm sure he's played a Nazi somewhere.
I'm sure.
Oh, he played...
I hate those guys.
He's played pretty much everything like Nazi... esque.
Right.
Nazi adjacent.
Nazi adjacent. Like, he played Charles Manson.
That's what he's got. He sounds like a Nazi.
He's played the Terminator Supreme Intelligence thing, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah. That's
there you
right.
go. Supreme Intelligence.
That was terrible. It's a terrible movie.
Final Solution.
Oh, it's so bad, yes.
That was a bad movie.
That was bad.
So
I watched just tonight. I watched Shadow in the Cloud. It's Chloe Grace Moretz's movie with this giant bat
pilot?
kind of thing.
Oh, okay, no, not that.
What?
What's that one where she's the pilot?
Yeah, it's the pilot one.
War?
It's got a giant.
She's the pilot one.
Giant
Pilot?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like in like World War II or something like that, and and
there's a giant bat.
Yeah, that's the Shadow in the Cloud. That's the
bat.
title. Yeah, it's this giant bat thing.
Okay.
So
I knew nothing about this bat.
COVID, the movie.
it yeah, pretty much. So it's kind of like it's this mega like what would you say? Like it's very like anti like all the men are horrible in it kind of thing. And I found it really ironic because it's written by Max Landis, and if you know anything about Max Landis,
that makes sense now.
Hates women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he's like got in a lot of like trouble recently, and
That's
just because he's an absolute jerk. But
when I think anti-man, I think Max Landis.
Well, no, he's like very anti-women basically. But
I was like, there's, but he's not a man. That's what I'm getting at. He's not yeah.
And I just found it like really ironic because like they tried to when the movie came out, they tried to bury that Max Landis was involved because he's just so controversial. But goodness. And he also wrote like probably one of your favorite movies, Paul, Bright. Bright with Will Smith, you know, like the
I didn't watch it because it was really crappy.
It was really crappy. It was.
Okay, glad we're on the same page.
And they're making a trilogy out of it. But yeah, he wrote that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think they're still doing it. But I think there is potential with that.
Oh,
as
100%.
long as they do a lot of things differently, like the next two.
That was my biggest gripe with that movie because it's a franchise that I've always wanted to explore, like the modern day fantasy kind of thing, and I think I've got some good ideas for like how that could come about as well.
Yeah, and
I was very keen because like, oh yeah, finally somebody's doing it, and it was rubbish.
Yeah, I feel like it's a trope that like Rocket Jump and Corridor Digital have touched on in funny skits, and you're like, oh yeah, I could see this happening. This would be really cool. Yes, there's just no.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like, yes, you do. Because when there's like too many inconsistencies and it's not even that. It was just a rubbish story, really, in general. The stakes weren't felt. The character choices didn't make any sense a lot of the time. Yeah. But then also there were a lot of holes in the world building as well, which did not help.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
And so... And then, I think at the time Max Landis was like, oh yeah, I wanted to make my own Star Wars. I wanted to make like this huge anthology series that would go on for decades. And then it dropped and everyone's like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. But it's funny because I seen a thing with Max Landis like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And
where was
and I remember thinking like it was just like a Screen Rant video or something like that. I remember watching him and thinking, this guy is the biggest douche ever. And then
he comes off that way.
He just comes off that way. And it's also because of like his entitlement kind of thing as well. Because he was basically born in Hollywood. Like he was John Landis's son.
I am Hollywood.
Yeah, and he's like...
I am movies.
You can see it with him. And I'm like... like I'm like, you know, it's terrible the things they did, but I'm not surprised, kind of thing. Like it does not. Yeah, it's obvious kind of thing. You can see it.
Yeah.
On him.
He's been raised in a culture where he thinks
he can get away with anything.
I guess he's got that. Yeah, he's got that idea that possibly he can get away with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just surprised that like that stuff's still happening.
Yeah. But
I mean, in today's
getting back to the Shadow and the Cloud, the movie's not terrible. It's a great sort of B movie sort of romp in a lot of ways. There's a few like on the nose like dialogue choices, but overall, it's kind of it's enjoyable enough.
It's in between somewhere lies somewhere between Promising Young Woman and I forget what that other movie was with Megan Fox.
Rogue.
Depth.
Rogue.
Or the other movie.
Till Death.
Till Death.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely better than both. Oh, not better. Definitely not better than Promising Young Woman. That's fantastic. But it's definitely better than Till Death. It's like
how because I've heard mixed things, but Bo Burnham's performance in Promising Young Woman, how does he go?
He's fine. I think it's jarring seeing him in this kind of role. Like,
right, okay.
Like, just because, you know, it's like Bo Burnham, and you're like, no, it's not right.
What's he doing?
Kind of thing.
Acting against Carey Mulligan.
You kind of, like, his sort of character, like, his character is kind of predictable in the, like, things that go on, just because of the like the subject matter in itself, but yeah, the movie's actually worth a watch. It's definitely awesome. Definitely, like, I feel like it's a good movie that teenagers should watch before going off to uni and stuff like that. Like males mainly kind of thing. Like just as
like the bats.
Like what not to do.
What not to do, yeah, basically.
Got it.
That kind of thing.
Okay. Don't fight in World War II.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Hey, what movie are we talking about?
Yeah. So those are the movies I've been watching. Paul, segue back to something else.
Well, speaking of movies, and what are movies if not just longer TV episodes? On a cool TV front, Pedro Pascal has sort of shown that Mando season 3 has begun filming.
Yes.
Woohoo!
And this is not the image that is from that, but yeah.
I mean,
it has
made it fall. It's funny.
Which we definitely did not discover very much.
Just before we started filming.
You know, this image though is kind of ironic because there's like been a lot of debate about like his availability and whether he's going to be able to be there on set very often. Yeah. So like,
and whether he actually is under the helmet.
Yeah, and because most of the time he isn't under the helmet. Like I remember,
sometimes he's not.
Like,
okay, if you haven't seen Mando season 1, 2. Go away because we're going to get into it. But I feel like at the end of like season 2 where he has his helmet off and all that I feel like he's now gone through enough where maybe he won't have the helmet on.
He's going to have the helmet on for
the whole time.
Yeah, just as much, if not more. And the reason that he's going to have it on is because he's just not available. He's not going to be there. He's going to be off shooting The Last of Us, and he's got like a whole heap of other things that he's shooting.
Okay.
So like,
surely that's going to finish soon, right?
The Last of Us. Well, I got the image for that too. But
look at that. There it is.
Which this image, like, what do you guys think of this? Like the first image released of The Last of Us.
I think the back of his head.
It looks like a really crappy, like, hey, I've just got After Effects and I watched one Andrew Kramer tutorial. What do you guys think? I use the Windows default wallpaper. Thoughts?
Yeah, fair enough.
I genuinely,
actually thought
when I
the
saw
whole
it,
image was fake.
I thought it was just a still from the game.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, this game sucks.
I was like,
because
man,
they
look at those
look
graphics,
fake.
man.
Look, they don't look real.
Nothing looks real. It all looks crap, and I hate it.
They've aced the back of their heads.
Oh,
Nailed
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And the backpack. So the backpacks are good.
Yeah.
But backpacks, yeah, exactly.
Big fan
Yeah.
of the
So
backpacks.
if they can do the same thing that they've done with the backpacks for the whole thing,
Use them.
solid.
Yeah.
No, hang on. With the shooting schedule, like The Mandalorian, the way that's shot on the volume, they can just set one of those up wherever and just go for it.
It is highly mobile, yes.
It is,
Yes.
but like you
It doesn't
think
require its
even
own warehouse personnel and generators.
Yeah. That's just
it's completely. You can just put it in a caravan and drive it around.
Where are they
fly.
filming?
Yeah.
Where are they filming?
Oh
Last
my
of Us?
gosh. That's a portable volume. Like a volume on wheels. That's the game
goodness.
changer. Oh my gosh. Jason, you're a genius.
I know.
You're gonna
I solved Disney's problems.
You've solved the
You're
problems
welcome,
that
Disney.
Lucasfilm
Send me a
aren't
check in the
having.
mail.
now literally Pedro Pascal doesn't even ever have to stop filming The Mandalorian. He can just be doing it forever.
What
can
if
live
they
in the
dress half
Mandalorian.
of him Mandalorian and the other half is whatever the dude's name is from The Last of Us?
Joel.
Split the volume
Perfect.
right down the middle,
Yes.
and so he can be doing dialogue or whatever with Ellie or whatever,
It's like
and then the
that
other side he
zing.
can be rolling with the other gang.
It's like,
Cut the helmet in half.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you just got to do that mirror effect to get the other half. Like, that's
Yeah,
just an
Phil
easy
Phil
thing
left
to
with
post.
right.
it's like that scene in Bronson, like in the Tom Hardy movie, where he's like playing the two roles and he's like
Yes.
just going side to side.
It's just that. It's that.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
literally
It's like that.
that.
It's like that one scene in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man with Willem Dafoe when he's in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Out
Yeah,
am I?
Vendry.
The heart Osborne.
Or you could look. I'm not sure when The Last of Us is set. It's in the near future, right?
Sure.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post COVID.
You could set it in a world where the Mandalorian exists
So-
and have
wait,
your main character just like a
'cause
really
the
keen
Mando,
cosplayer.
No, Mando was a long time ago.
Oh, you're
Idiot.
right. No. As in the Mandalorian, as in the show, The Mandalorian,
Yeah, it was a long
and
time
then just
ago.
make a long time ago. The show was on a long time
Are
ago.
you saying like he's like walking along the sets most of the time? It's like the
your main
dystopian
character
future,
in The Last of Us,
but it's like
he's just a real big
Oh,
fan
I'm
of
so
Star
sorry.
Wars.
That's on me.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
thought
I'm
you
saying,
meant
yeah.
like blend it. So all of a sudden,
No,
what's his
no,
name and
no.
Ellie are now in Mando.
No.
yeah,
world.
they're backstage.
I'm saying what's his name is just a massive fan of the Mandalorian show.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so he's just cosplaying in this post-apocalyptic world.
Smart.
That's
Really
exactly like
smart.
Christian Bale and Jared Butler in that Reign of Fire movie.
Sure.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
where they're telling the story of Star Wars.
yeah.
I haven't
That
seen
to the
it.
kids.
That is the best scene in that
You
whole
haven't
movie.
seen it?
Reign of Fire is such a good movie.
Reign of Fire. It is a great
It's
Yeah?
movie.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, you should watch
It's
it.
Christian
You'll love
Bale,
it. You'll love it.
Matthew McConaughey and dragons.
Yeah,
I like both of
It's-
those things.
yeah, and Gerard
Both
Butler.
of those three things.
And Gerard Butler. Don't forget Gerard Butler.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
Jared
I'm
Butler.
so sorry.
Jared Butler.
Yeah,
I love everything you've just said.
Yeah.
You've ticked a lot of boxes on me right now.
yeah.
Is the
I know what
helicopter
Paul's
noise
gonna
back?
watch.
There are helicopters in it. There's some cool helicopter scenes in it.
There are some, helicopters versus dragons.
Well, actually sounds really cool.
It is actually really cool, man.
I was being facetious, but that was actually quite funny.
They're like,
Yeah.
is it parachuters versus dragons at one point? There's like a
think-
whole
yeah, I think
parachuting
so.
scene.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
They're like
it's
base jumping or
post-apocalyptic.
doing something. No, it's not a parachute. It is a parachute. They like jump out of a plane and they're going through like it's this one
yeah.
whole set piece. They're going through the clouds and there's a dragon sort of following them and going in and out of the clouds.
so
And
sick.
it's actually
Man.
really awesome.
There's
I wanna
there's
watch
a
that
book
again
that I
now.
read
Yeah.
called The Great Zoo of China, and it's all about how like it's near future. It's like a couple of years from now, let's say.
Yeah.
Where it's like China struggles for its own identity because they're building like America's technology. They're doing stuff like they're master, like the jack of all trades, master of none kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So what they do is, I don't know how they do it. I forget. I need to reread the book. They invest heavily. They find a dragon egg effectively, and they just start producing dragons, and they literally build. It's Jurassic Park, but with dragons, and it's freaking rad. And obviously, it all goes wrong. Obviously. It's incredible because now instead of like it's a T-Rex that's running down a hallway, it's a dragon that you can't see because he's just
I
in
love
the
that.
sky somewhere.
That's cool.
But that was
So hang
written
on.
by that was a Matthew Riley book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
See, when you
And-
started telling me the
okay.
story, I thought it was like based on real life, and then you brought in dragon
dragons.
eggs. It's like, okay,
it's
okay,
based
you
on
You
don't
don't
real
know.
life. Yeah,
The
you
science,
don't
like
know.
the science behind it is
Yeah.
pretty good. It's one of those like, it's like the
man.
eggs only like they can only find the eggs once every X amount of years, and there's all like certain climate change requirements, and they can track it. And they're like, oh, we were meant to have one, so we looked for it. But Matthew Riley on the front
Yeah.
of him, he's an Australian author. If you've never heard
Australian
of the
author.
man,
He's
long-time
Australia's
goal.
Tom Clancy.
Yeah.
He's-
pretty much.
That's a big call. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to
Thank
you. He has been trying to get a movie going for years. He writes his books. He said in some interviews that he writes his books picturing specific actors as the characters he's writing, just in case they ever get scripted. I think even he wrote a book called Hovercar Racer, which was like a really, really cool book. And I think Disney bought the rights to that years ago, and there still hasn't been anything. But he's finally been directing a movie. He's finally kind of got his foot in the door.
He has.
He said in the article that I read that it's very hard to make any one of my books into a movie without like a $50 million budget. And they're not going to give that to a first-time director. But he's like, they'll give me $5 million if I can write a story that works for it. So, bloody Matthew Riley, that's just what he's done. He's written this movie.
Nice.
What was it called? Interceptor.
Yes.
And it
Interceptor,
stars
yes.
Elsa Pataki, who
Chris
is Chris
Hemsworth's
Hemsworth's super
wife.
hot wife.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
And effectively, she's very hot. She's like the best part of Fast Five.
She was a model, right? Model slash
why not?
turned actor.
Yeah, of course.
Actress. Probably.
Sure. He it was a really funny clip I saw of Hemsworth, and it was the end of the second Thor movie. And he's like, there's a scene where he had to kiss Natalie Portman, and Natalie Portman wasn't there. So the director's like, hey, I know this sounds terrible, but I've got a bunch of women. Do you want to come and just like pick one?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, how about my wife's here?
Yeah.
She's the same height as Natalie Portman. Let's go get her. I'll kiss her. And then I don't have to explain to her what I've been doing at work all day.
What a stand-up guy. That's brilliant.
That's great. But no,
don't kiss another woman while your wife's in the building. That is
Bold.
good stuff.
There was a really cool video. It was like comparing the parents. And it was Robert Downey Jr. and his kid. And they're like by the pool, and he's got his like young daughter wrapped in a towel. And it's a nice moment. Yeah. And it's like a hard cut to Chris Hemsworth. And he's like shirtless on the beach holding one of his kids by the ankle.
Yeah. And the kid's like fully like upside down, and he's just sort of
like a fish.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's basically
classic Aussie dad.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude. But no.
I love that.
I think when I read this, they were done shooting. I think they had a 30-day production schedule.
Yeah.
So they finished shooting shortly before this most recent lockdown started.
Yes.
So it was about 4 months ago.
That's right.
Fun story, actually. I got to meet the gaffer a couple of months ago of this movie.
Of Interceptor? Really?
Of the Interceptor, yeah.
That's
so
very
he's
cool.
a local guy. Came along to our filmmakers group here on the coast and got to meet him, got to chat. He was also the gaffer on another show that I've been watching that I love, which is Mr. In Between.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a freaking amazing Aussie show. So talking a bit about that and how it was like Matthew Riley, first time director, so very much like, kind of dealing with all the nerves of all that kind of stuff. But it's all basically pretty much, as you were saying, it's his foot into the door, essentially, to do bigger and better things. And he is definitely one of those writers that have always written his novels, I think, with the intention of them becoming films.
Yes.
They feel very cinematic when you read them, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the thing.
Yeah. It's a full-on, it's a ride. It's incredible.
The inside scoop, which I'm not sure if it's much of an inside scoop or not, is that he's in chats with Chris Hemsworth to be in a future Matthew Riley film.
Yeah, right.
Which would kind of make sense when you think they're, talk like this one is with Chris Hemsworth's wife.
Yeah.
So
why not get
that would
Chris?
be interesting. I would love to see him as Scarecrow, honestly.
So I'm actually really glad you said that. Because me and a whole bunch of friends have been chatting. Well, like a lot of my friends are big Matthew Riley fans, and there's a website called Your Cast. It's like a create a hypothetical cast, and what someone has done is they've done it for another series of books that Matthew Riley wrote with Jack West Jr. It's the 7 Ancient Wonders series.
Oh yeah,
and so I think they cast Hugh Jackman as the Huntsman, which is Jack West. Okay. But in one of the books, bit of a spoiler, but Scarecrow is in it, and they cast they put Oscar Isaac down for that.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because Scarecrow's not a big dude. He's in the books he's a shorter kind of dude, but he's tough as balls, and I think Oscar Isaac could kind of do that.
Well, that's kind of like I suppose it really comes down to how good the actor is as well, and Oscar Isaac is fantastic, and and you got that kind of the different size comparison with Jack Reacher when they like everyone sort of were up in arms about Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher because he should look like The Rock.
Because he's too short? Right.
It's actually really funny that you say that, because Matthew Riley has said that he came up with the character of Scarecrow with Tom Cruise in mind.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Because he's like a shorter kind of guy. It's kind of spiky black hair.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
That's what I keep thinking with like the new Wolverine, when they eventually recast Wolverine, whenever they bring in the X-Men, whether they like, I don't know, throw a bunch of money at Hugh Jackman and get him back, that's like a whole different story.
Now that could be possible, maybe.
And that is definitely a possibility. But
he said he wouldn't say no.
He's always wanted to be an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's said. And he also like there's already rumors circling that we'll get an X-Men in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, right.
Multiverse of Madness, squaring off against Scarlet Witch. Like from the X-Men universe.
Yeah, right.
So, but it will probably be someone like Professor X or something.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, one of the crap ones.
It would be fascinating to see what they do, like when they do eventually incorporate them, whether they're going to stick to what Fox had created, or like with some of the casting choices. Because I don't think that's the problem with those movies. Like the stories themselves are not good. But
it's the words they say.
The words they say. But the casting choice is actually really good.
Yeah.
Like,
there's probably 90%
freaking
perfect, really.
Gandalf as Magneto.
Yeah, fantastic.
Perfect.
Like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, no, I love that they cast Gandalf. Fictional character Gandalf as Magneto.
What's his actual name?
Ian McKellen.
Thank you. I just realized what you said.
Got his name. Got his human name.
I love that they cast
You remembered
Picard
his wizard name.
Yeah. Picard and Gandalf really bounce off each other.
So good. Friggin'.
But
I love that they cast Catwoman as Storm. Oh my god.
I love the conversation between those two and P.T. Barnum. That was a joke for Dean's behalf.
Oh man, they could. Brilliant.
Yeah, but I'm kind of interested to see whether if they do go away from Hugh Jackman, whether they'll go for a shorter character.
Yeah,
because
I think they will.
Yeah, like you kind of have to, right? And then like how short? Because Wolverine is like a famously short,
like 5 foot.
Yeah.
Like
really short.
So that does make sense though, because you think if they're not going to recast Hugh Jackman, the smartest thing for them to do is to go completely opposite, like casting. They like go off the idea of Hugh Jackman completely. They don't try to find someone that is similar to him at all.
Yeah.
And then they decide to go, like, safest option for them is to go more comic book accurate, which would be a short guy.
Well, I think like they'd struggle with this, because it's like, I think if they didn't kind of go on a more Hugh Jackman front, you'd have fans that are being like, that's just, you're just being
rubbish,
belligerent at this point, because at this point, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. That is like, it's his role.
Yeah,
it's like casting
absolutely.
Somebody else as Tony Stark. And you're like, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You're right. It's like casting someone else as James Bond. Never going to happen. Like, seriously. See what I did there?
Silly biscuit.
Yeah, it's such an iconic role. Like
such an iconic
they
role.
would never have success past Sean Connery.
Tangent. The Marvel's Eternals brought out a
What?
No. Well, yeah, Bond came out. That's what I can't wait to see.
Bond
that is my
is out in the States.
number one film that I can't wait to see.
Yeah. It's out
it's
pretty
killing
much
it apparently.
everywhere else other than here, right? Like, it's just we don't have anything at the moment because
it's very annoying. Well, we have Shang-Chi.
We should have Shang-Chi. We should have Bond when we come out of lockdown.
I very much hope we get Bond very soon. What is the release date?
November-ish.
Do we have November?
I think I read maybe November 21st.
It's such a long time to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, you know, all the YouTube channels for months I've had to deal with the Shang-Chi, like everything coming up on my feed.
Yeah.
What the end credit scenes, you know, and like all the like here are 10 things that you missed in Shang-Chi, and now the same thing's happening for No Time to Die.
Yeah.
And
There'll be nothing.
my feed is
in terms of like button scenes for Bonds. All it is, if at best you might get a title, but usually it's like, you know, it'll just say, you know, James Bond will return.
yeah.
With all the Daniel Craig ones, though, they had like the title. And like that,
yeah.
or no, it was the Pierce Brosnan ones. You had the title at the end. It's like, you know, James Bond will return in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe that was
Daniel Craig will not return in Bond ever
Daniel
again.
Craig will not return. Thank God, am I right? Man, that guy got old towards the end. I think we need to hire someone younger. What do you guys think about it? It's just like the credits card is like
some like audition tapes that we play at the end of the game.
If you guys could just text me, here's my number. Just send me a number, 1 to 4. What do you guys think? Help me.
Hey, wait, are you guys sure we should recast? Yeah, you know, you're right. Maybe we should ask Daniel again. He doesn't want to do it. Are you sure? Yeah, he said that like the last 3 times. What if we pay him
He said
a
he's
lot?
really into Golden
ask.
Compass now. Don't know why.
What if we ask really, really, really nicely? Oh, yeah, and pay him a lot of money.
He should be in the
obviously.
next Knives Out soon, right?
Yes.
That's for Netflix, right?
Netflix.
Yeah, they picked up the rights for it. So
they bought the rights for and now they're gonna. I think they've got 2 more lined up.
Yes.
And then possibly
is
more
Anna
down the
de
track.
Armas, or how is that
Anna de
how you-
Armas.
Isn't
Yes.
she in it? The next
In
one?
Bond?
No, the next Knives Out.
She is in Bond. I hope
She's
she's
in No Time
Knives
to
Out.
Die.
She should be in everything.
Well, she was in the first Knives Out, but I feel
sure
like
was.
she's like in the next one as well. Like they're trying to
Have
bring
they
it back.
announced the cast?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
Daniel
making it
Craig's
up.
in it.
Daniel Craig's
We know
definitely
that.
in it. But
Thanks,
yeah.
You're a wealth of knowledge.
They haven't recast him yet.
Thank
in
goodness.
this
That'd
series.
be weird.
Yeah, I reckon. My only real criticism of the original Blade Runner is that Anna de Armas is not in that one as well.
Oh, she is though.
But
In our hearts.
in our hearts, she'll always be with us.
Um.
That sounds like she's died.
Oh,
She hasn't.
Ethan
No.
Hawke's in the new Knives Out.
Ooh,
Yeah, Leslie Odom,
Okay.
Odom Jr. is in it. Catherine
we like
Haynes,
Ethan
Dave
Hawke? I
Batista.
yes, we like Ethan.
Batista's
He's-
in
he's
it?
Great.
Yeah, Edward Norton.
Yeah, nice.
Kate Hudson, Jessica
Wow.
Henwick. Wow, this is
Wow,
That's
Quite.
a stellar crew.
quite the cast.
that's awesome.
wow.
That's a good book.
It's really
it's a good movie.
awesome. Yeah,
That director,
So-
man, he knows what he's doing. They should give him a Star Wars.
they should.
They should.
give him.
There
a
was
Star Wars.
like talk, like in some rumors that they're going to like silently eradicate the last 3 sequul trilogy from like the whole
James
thing.
talks.
Don't do
about
it
that
silently. Do it loudly.
since
No one
The
likes
Last
them.
Jedi.
Get rid of them.
I really want them to just get rid of Rise of
last-
Just the last one?
Skywalker. And,
Get rid of the last
Yeah.
one.
You know, make something better to replace.
Yeah.
Colin Trevorrow's script. Do that one.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
Just anything
Yes.
better. Like would be
Get rid
nice.
of that hack.
Right.
Abrams.
And the thing is, they don't need to do much to do something better than that.
No.
Let's be honest.
No. No,
That's,
just
you know.
give anyone a camera.
It's funny
Just-
how divisive we were like on the
8?
Last Jedi. Yeah, like 8. But how in agreement we are.
That is that.
Well, the
that's the
problem
great
is
thing
That's
about
the one
the
thing.
Rise of
We came
Skywalker.
back together.
The Rise of
That's right.
Skywalker is a unifying. It's a uniting movie.
Yeah.
at least.
Well, I still stand by the fact that if the 9th movie was good, then 8 would have been amazing. 'Cause, like, it would have just it would have worked.
Yeah.
But the 9th movie
100%.
wasn't good.
And that's where
in
I would've,
return,
like-
8 was not good either.
Yeah. That's why I didn't like 8 and we already talked about it, but I was welcome to the idea of a redemption for 8. Had that 9th movie tied up all those loose ends
Actually
kind of thing,
touched
and
on
actually-
it. I'm still annoyed.
But
Like
it's-
they literally, and I feel like this is something that no one. I mean, you guys probably would have gotten it, but like the fandom when Luke died. When Carrie Fisher and Daisy Ridley are talking, they're like, "Did you feel that?" It's like, "Yeah, it was like a sense of purpose." That one line, I'm like, "That's awesome." What is Luke gonna? Luke, no, he's having an Obi-Wan moment.
No.
He's gonna come back in 9 and do some really big crap. No, he's gonna somehow
No.
catch a lightsaber, and then to kind of berate a young girl and game.
But it's like he doesn't even say "see you around, kid" or something like that.
Do
That does
anything.
not pay
Also,
off at
how
all.
does he catch the lightsaber? When does that become a thing? I mean, they also made a freaking key that looked like the Death Star.
Hey, back up.
Sorry,
so the Last Jedi, Yoda does catch a tree on fire.
No, he calls a lightning strike. He doesn't physically interact with something.
Yeah, he doesn't light a match and throw it in.
Exactly.
Yeah, he calls
He's not like Luke doesn't walk up and just go to
that's physically interacting with
cable.
It's physically and interacting with the world and
with
the
the world.
universe
Yeah,
around
but
it.
it's
catching
lights.
It's easy to be like, I just use the Force and the Force.
Yeah, you're right. Catching a
Whereas Luke is
lightsaber
like,
too extreme.
grab. He grabs
interacting
the lightsaber.
with the elements of and nature. It's more a nature thing.
Well, he's become one with the Force, and the Force is everywhere. So you could assume he's just interacting with the environment in that manner.
But then I guess the argument can be if one with the Force and the Force is everywhere, then the Force is around the lightsaber.
Exactly.
No,
that Luke
now you're just an
catches, so
idiot.
that's-
Now you're just, no, shut up. Now you're being, counterintuitive. Shush.
I'm
I don't
sorry,
need this
I'll
from
stop
you.
making
I
points.
get this all over Instagram when I respond to these threads. I'm fighting like 8 people right now.
Oh, man. See,
I sit on the toilet and hurl abuse.
Speaking of Star Wars.
speaking of space,
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
Speaking of
big
space.
big things this week. Big things. So where is it?
hey,
Yeah, speaking of Star Wars,
Speaking of-
William Shatner went to space.
our favorite Star Wars
Yeah,
character.
our favorite
What
Star
a
Wars character.
segue.
Yes, our favorite Star Wars character, William Shatner.
Yes, so
plays
I
William
like
Shatner in Star
the
Wars.
line that I read on an article that I was reading about this that was like the first alive Star Trek character to go to space.
Sorry?
What does that mean?
Did they send someone's ashes to space?
I think they sent
Jeez. Did they
Spock?
send Leonard
yeah, I think
Nimoy
they
up?
sent
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Leonard
God.
Nimoy. I think they'd sent him up. Yeah, one of the launches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Like, actually?
yeah. I'm sure
It's
they
a
did.
sticky tape,
Yeah.
so who knows? But
Jeez.
they just sticky tape
I-
their urn to the side of the booster.
My gosh.
It just burns up before
That's-
it even goes anywhere.
I mean,
Can
that's-
ash burn more?
Yeah, it doesn't. You're right.
Unless it was
I
a
was gonna
coffin,
make a
then it's a
joke,
real
yeah,
sight.
I just didn't feel right. But
Oh my God.
my favorite article headline for this was because he's 90.
Yeah.
So it was too oldly go where no man has gone before.
That's really good, actually.
Like that is brilliant.
That's really
Is
funny.
he now the oldest person to go to space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oldest since Tommy Lee Jones and
Space
Clint
Cowboys.
Eastwood.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, there you go.
when Clint Eastwood was at the ripe old age of 125, because that's.
Oldest
Months
man to
after
go to
being
space
born.
since they left Tommy Lee Jones up on the moon.
I was
That's
thinking about that the other day. Like, what actors are just like old, like always old, kind of thing? Like
what actors are
Tommy Lee
old?
Jones is a perfect example.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Freeman, yeah.
Even young Morgan Freeman looks like
Is
old Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood has been old for 50 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was thinking like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover because like, you've got like Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon and they're always complaining about being old.
I
But then
see.
you get to like the older Lethal Weapons and you're like,
And they're both
actually
too old
really
for this
old.
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually,
I
there was
got
another
one, hang
movie I
on.
watched this week, which was Ad Astra. I forgot to mention that.
Oh,
that's
you-
a
oh,
great
watch that.
movie.
Good movie, eh? Good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
up
go.
Disappointing.
yours.
It's disappointing.
God, you probably don't even
it's-
believe in the moon landing, you dick.
What?
Hang
no,
on.
like think about it.
Did you have an ear infection again?
They
Is this
fly.
one of those ear infection things you couldn't hear it
Think
and so you
about
hated
the
it?
logistics of this. They
Oh,
fly.
Okay.
hang on, stop. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I got confused. Sorry, I got confused with First Man.
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah.
Yeah.
You're okay, Jason.
Ad Astra is the one that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It's like a
yeah, it
future
hasn't
one,
happened
isn't it?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the future one. It's the one where they have a subway on the moon.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Oh, there's some
Yeah.
great concepts, but the idea
Yeah.
that he has to like fly to the moon, then fly to Mars, and then fly to is it Neptune he goes to? I can't remember.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
why not?
Yeah, like
One of
end
them.
of the end of our solar system, I think.
Just-
Now that part definitely ends up feeling a bit too Star Trek than the real kind of future
Yeah.
space travel that it's trying to depict.
Yeah, because it doesn't quite. And then, like, there's space pirates. on
Yeah,
the
space
moon.
pirates. Yeah,
And it's meant
space
to, like,
pirates.
it's meant to be like in this like
So fun.
realistic sort of setting, but I'm like, how?
Space pirates.
What? How?
Yeah.
How are the space? What?
Because there's Earth pirates.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't there be space pirates?
Moon pirates.
It just like
There's moon pirates.
how did they get the
Yeah.
resources to get to the moon and then?
Well, they don't
They
have the
steal
resources,
them.
Jason.
That's
That's
why
why
they're
they're pirates.
God.
Come on,
Just-
pay attention.
Don't you understand their plight?
Okay. the moon pirates.
Also,
plight, yeah,
Sally Fields, I feel like, has been old forever.
that's true.
Sally
Sally
Field.
Fields has an old face.
Well, like it's funny because like she played Tom Hanks's mom in Forrest Gump, but she was like
she
literally not that much older than Tom Hanks at the time. I think she was like 8 years older than him or something like that.
Old
So
face.
but I think it's like it's the mannerisms and the makeup that actually add to her feeling like an older person when she's not actually that old, kind of thing.
Well, she's like one of the mums in Sandlot kids, and even then you're like, she's look old. Well, she was also like, I don't know if you guys have seen Smokey and the Bandit, but like, oh crap, Tom Selleck picks her up, and she's like run away from a wedding. She has like an old face. She doesn't look old, but she has an old face.
Yeah.
That Leah Thompson is someone that I think is the opposite of this, who in my head, because like Back to the Future mum, right?
Okay.
Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
She when she was very young, playing someone that was meant to be quite old.
It kind of works.
She does not look anywhere near as old as she does. Like at present day, she does not look as old as she does in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And it's a bit, it's like, oh wow, okay. There you go.
I watched it
great.
last week, the first one. Again, so like my housemate, I've realized, has never seen a movie, so we're going through a list. It's a wild list. And the only thing that tipped him off about the prosthetics was the dad and Doc Brown. Those were sort of the two big ones. And he's like, hang on a second. Like he asked him like, how old is
Christopher Lloyd
in this movie? And I'm like, oh, he's like 45. And he's like, he looks terrible for 45.
There are certain shots where it looks like the makeup's like hanging off them.
Yeah.
Looks wrong.
You're not wrong.
But
but the mum, Leah Thompson, I think she pulls it off the best.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion anyway. That's,
No, it's good.
yeah.
It's a good opinion, man. It's a really good opinion.
Good opinion.
Back
I
to
think,
space.
I think that's probably a good. Oh well, yeah. Shat went to space. He came back.
Shatner went to space.
I loved.
Did not
I watched.
shat himself.
So I watched the launch. Well, you don't know that they wear a diaper.
This is
but
true.
When they touched back down, like Bezos is the one who opened the hatch because it was Blue Origin launch. But Bezos, who didn't launch, he's still wearing his flight suit. I'm like, bro, you didn't fly.
Oh man.
It kind of had
That's
real
hilarious.
vibes of like wearing the team jersey but watching the game. Kind of feel
Yeah,
to
just like,
it.
yay, I'm part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I
Oh wow,
like,
he's the mascot, isn't he? That's what's happening there.
he's spent
wash day.
so much money on
Yeah.
all these flights, and I'm like, couldn't you've just spent just a touch more on the design of the actual rocket?
Yes,
It does
I
look
agree.
like a massive dong.
Like
It is, and I'm thinking as I see every time I see it, I think of
The Austin
Bryan
Powers.
Cranston's character in How I Met Your Mother.
That's a penis.
Whereas it's very specifically
I thought you meant
meant
that
to be.
scene in Austin Powers where it's like, that looks like a Woody. Have a look at this. It's got too big ball. You're out.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah. that
Like
reference
even
to it.
like when you look at it, like SpaceX's design is still effectively just a big tube, but
well,
it doesn't look like a
doesn't
dick.
look like it though.
when you also
Yeah.
fair call, because when you look at Bezos, some Dr. Evil vibes
Yeah,
there for sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
One of the best when he did his launch, I was watching it, and then you watch the post-credit interview. Someone said on the interview that he's got such a rich person laugh. If you ever go back and just look up Jeff Bezos rich like billionaire laugh, he laughs like a billionaire in that kind of like you're a wank.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's like everything he does, like it's like he's trying to keep in touch, but everything he says is so out of touch.
Just, like
Like,
not
it was like, I want to
working for
thank
him.
everyone, I want, like, for this launch, I want to thank everyone that, thank you to all the Amazon staff and all the Amazon customers.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That
and
one
you saw
guy
the
who
paid-
memes
you're
where they're
paying
like,
for this
missing for
launch.
like
memes
4
like,
hours.
we're going for our bathroom break. Quick, he's going to space. We can
Pee
go
in a
now.
bottle.
So funny. When he left as CEO for Amazon, I love the I think it was probably a like a Chaser article or something.
Yeah.
It was like Jeffrey Bezos resigns as CEO of Amazon to dedicate his life to fighting Superman.
That's a great one.
Brilliant.
At least when like Branson did his, he spent like a bit of the thing just like doing a whole speech to everybody, and then he went and had fun. Whereas Bezos was like the friggin' Blue Origin launch was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was not even worth staying up to watch because they couldn't even connect to the cameras in the capsule. So all it was just like a really zoomed in shot that showed nothing. And you could just hear them all having fun inside the capsule. And then they started coming back down again. And I'm like, you are how big of a $1 billion industry?
Wait, so you didn't get a shot from inside it?
You couldn't see a damn thing from inside. I think
So
they
they could've-
uploaded like a VOD later.
No.
But like I think Branson's launch you could see inside the ship the whole way. SpaceX have had it just like nail. You could see when they did Inspiration 4, you could just watch them whenever you wanted.
Exactly, yeah.
But friggin' Blue Origin was like, yeah, we're having some real difficulties here.
It's probably because like they needed a few extra components for the launch, but they'd ordered them from Amazon, so they were still. Oh yeah, there's the joke. There's the joke.
Yeah.
Same day order doesn't exist for
Yeah,
space.
yeah. And so it'll be here in 2 weeks.
Oh, very good. Well, on a nice ribbing of billionaires.
Yeah.
One more
Okay.
space news,
Pushing
space
it.
related, space adjacent, and we can leave with this. This is a bit of an old news.
This is
It
what we
came out a
close
couple of
with, so
weeks.
this has better be good.
No.
Uh,
Not that
You're
good.
only as good as your last podcasting, and this is the last thing
let's
that
call
people are
this
going to
like-
hear.
let's call this like a nice wind down.
Oh, no.
But no, space adjacent.
Okay.
Who feels like they're super excited to watch Doctor Who these days?
No.
Yeah, who would like to be super excited to watch Doctor Who again?
No? I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're gonna love the great news that I got. A couple of weeks ago, Russell T Davies was confirmed to be returning as showrunner for Doctor Who.
Yes.
Which is
Yay.
pretty exciting.
It is.
For at least one other person here, maybe.
Your
No, I told her, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Cool.
She doesn't care about Doctor
So
Who.
she
I
had
was
the
like,
same
"Oh, sweet,
reaction
okay."
that we did.
Well, I was like, "That's right. You have no care for Doctor
Yeah.
Who. I'm going to tell the boys and get some sort of reaction out of them."
You thought wrong, Mackenzie.
Yeah,
So wrong.
All right.
freaking.
On that disappointing
great.
fact.
I'm excited.
That's good, man.
That's good. No, wait.
hey,
What
hey,
what
look at
season
you.
was he
That's good.
showrunner for? Or they'll
Seasons 1 to 4 of New Era. So that is 1 Christopher Eccleston season,
And 3
season and
Tennant,
the 3
right?
David Tennant.
Yeah, okay.
So he was the guy that brought it back.
Yeah, okay.
And
He did a
it's
good
kind
job?
of he did a great job, and it's kind of failing at the moment. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's just bad like it's mediocre writing, I should say that.
I think since the
And-
tail end of Smith, it hasn't been that good.
Yeah, I would agree.
Capaldi was
there.
kind
How-
of disappointing.
The performances themselves, like the
don't get me
doctors-
wrong. They're brilliant actors.
Yeah, the
How
writing
did,
around them hasn't been great.
How did the Jodie Whittaker set
Again,
go?
she's phenomenal. She's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
She's fantastic.
Oh.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. She's great.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell that the writers, like most of the writing team, is male
Yeah, right.
writers, and they don't know how to write a character for her properly.
Right.
And the stories are just like the storylines are just. I think Russell T Davies really captured the proper mix of weird sci-fi-esque kind of ideas and adventure, and like really knew how to marry those two things and make something really exciting.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
And Stephen Moffat, to an extent, was able to continue that on and made Doctor Who really big and popular with Matt Smith. I think that was like the most popular it has been since it's been back, the Matt Smith era.
Well, Matt Smith kind of
and then-
rode high off the, like, not saying I don't know how to phrase this.
For sure.
He rode high off
Yeah.
the momentum that Tenet had created. But he, in his
Absolutely.
own right, was also a very good Doctor.
I 100% agree with that. Tenet's still my favorite, but
yeah.
Matt Smith, I kind of think no one else could have followed up such a strong Tenant performance.
Yeah.
The only Matt Smith's the only one that could follow him.
Yeah.
And they're both fantastic. Capaldi, probably one of my favorite Doctors, but very bad seasons most of the time. And and same with Jodie Whittaker. It's just, but this is exciting times for anyone that is a fan or has been a fan of Doctor Who. It's a bit of a promise to possibly return to form and hopefully, I guess, similar to what they did with Bond.
Yeah.
You know how they brought for Daniel Craig's Casino Royale, they brought back the same director as who did the first Pierce Brosnan Bond, who did GoldenEye.
Yeah.
To kind of like, because it's like, he revamped it before, he'll do it again. And he did, and it was great.
I seen Denis Villeneuve is like, I want to direct a Bond movie recently as well.
Yes.
And I mean,
He'd be
Christopher
good.
Nolan's said it a few times as well, which would be...
Nope.
You don't know.
He doesn't.
He was in talks.
He overcomplicates stuff. His movies are great, but his movies are good.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Stay
like what
away.
Tenet was.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was, before they went with No Time to Die, he was in talks to do a Bond movie, and that kind of fell through. But he was like, well, I still want to do a Bond movie.
Yeah.
But I want to do more than just a Bond film, and that's where Tenet, came from.
Yeah. He'd probably
Which
get
is-
bored with the actual premise and
Yeah,
try and change it into some time travel thing.
Some
Denis Villeneuve,
garbage.
get him back, get Roger Deakins back
Deke.
to be.
Them together making another Bond movie.
That would be
Roger Deakins has
fantastic.
already made a few, but
Yes.
that'd be great.
And I was in the, like, kind of jokingly, but then it was like, oh, that could actually be great. Chatting with a couple of mates the other day, Edgar Wright doing a Bond film with Simon Pegg as Bond.
No, guys,
No,
you're not respecting
God.
the sanctity of Bond. Stop it.
But Edgar Wright as doing a Bond film, that
Simon
would be
Pegg would be
interesting.
Q if anything. Like he'd have to be
Oh,
Q.
yes.
He'd
He would
be
be
the
Q.
perfect Q.
But we've already got a good Q. We don't need a new
we
Q.
do
Stay
have,
away.
yeah.
Leave my
Yeah.
franchise alone.
Wait. So, do
Simon
you reckon
Pegg-
they'll keep the same Q? Like, will
They
they keep?
should. They've nailed it.
He's a good Q.
He is good,
He is a very
yeah.
good Q. Yeah.
Yeah, the money penny's good. The Q's
what's his
good. M,
face?
perfect.
Yeah.
It's like it's such old
Rafe.
school vibes now. It's great.
Yeah. Rafe
Judi
Fiennes.
Dench
It's a
was
good-
fantastic, but I think
Dench was so good.
killing her
was
off
great. Yeah.
then created the ability for them to sort of reform. Because I don't know. Look, I'm a very hardcore Bond purist.
Yeah.
And I like that era of films where it was like, Moneypenny, snarky little funny, probably sexually inappropriate jib.
Definitely
And then you go
sexually
to M.
inappropriate.
He's pissed off about
Definitely.
something. Oh
Yep.
no, whoopsies.
Yeah.
Q, we're going to muck around with Q for a little bit. We're not going to
Yeah.
get gadgets anymore because it's 2022 and that's okay. But he won't like us much, and that's fine. We don't need him. And then you got Bond. I think it's good. It's a good ensemble.
Do you
I'm
think?
not sure what you guys think with the Daniel Craig films. For me, I think Skyfall was the perfect kind of marriage between the new gritty kind of
Yep.
Daniel Craig era born Bond with the classic elements.
Yeah.
It's like a
think
Spectre
they're
went
like-
too far.
Yeah, Spectre went too far the other way.
Yeah.
Like too
Spectre
much.
went a bit a
the
little bit too
rompy-
far. Quantum was just shit.
Too far Roger Moore. Quantum was too far the other way.
Casino
Again, that was,
was
too
awesome.
Bourne. Yeah.
But I would argue it's not a Bond movie.
No.
Casino.
No,
Casino
there's so
Royale,
many
no.
little things that make up a Bond movie that movie didn't have. That being
But he
said,
says his name's
I love it.
Bond.
Does he though?
Yeah,
Does he
okay.
say Bond, James Bond? He doesn't say it until the
Yeah, he
very
does.
end.
He does say it right
At
at
the
the end.
very, very end.
What do you-
He also
I think that was the one that was like, we need a change up after Die Another Day. So they went as far as they could go
Paul,
into the Bourne
Yeah.
era.
what's your favorite Bond movie?
Die
Goldeneye.
Another Day?
Goldeneye,
good.
yeah. What about you,
Yep.
Dean?
My favorite is the one that Paul doesn't think is a Bond movie,
Casino.
which is Casino Royale, I'd say.
Casino's fantastic.
I do love it.
It's just, I could build an argument. I'm not gonna, but I could build an argument that it's not a Bond movie. But I would. It's just a bloody good movie.
Casino Royale and Skyfall are probably two of my three favorite Bond films, and it says a lot that they're both with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say Casino Royale tips it as like that's the one that I would return to most often.
Casino Royale
It's got
is just
some of the
it's
coolest
fun.
sequences, and yeah,
It's a fun
it
movie.
is.
Like the
It's a
parkour
great
chase
fun.
is crazy.
Oh man,
No, what else happens?
there's the jet scene. There's the plane, the airport sequence that weirdly
that's
is
really good as
forgettable,
well.
but it's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
ellipsis.
And the poker game is actually exciting.
It does go for a little long though.
The
I
poker
feel.
game
like,
goes
all of
way
that's-
too long.
No,
They
not even that.
split
But
it
like
up, though.
somehow the fourth act where they
Yeah.
go to Italy, that lasts forever.
Oh yeah. No, that's where because I kind of feel like it should have ended. Like it feels like it's wrapping
Yeah.
up and ending sooner. But similar to like the Dark Knight, where you get to that false end
Yeah.
point, and then it just keeps going. But yeah, I think like because it was very smart to split that poker game up and have action sequences and
Yeah.
whatnot throughout it. And he's gonna die. Okay. Oh, he's gonna die again. Okay, back to poker.
You know what?
Yeah.
And this other guy's going to die. Oh, somehow Bond is now
Okay.
going to die.
When you
Back to
think about
poker.
like the Dark Knight,
Yeah.
like, and the fact that Christopher Nolan did that and he didn't really do any time sort of messing sort of thing, like it's still it's linear storytelling for the most part.
It's
I
like
think,
he can actually.
I think you
do
could
that.
do a pretty good Bond if you sort of tied him down to like not just having to do
but
linear
what about-
storytelling.
He would
What
be
if-
good at directing it as long as he didn't write it or had anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And he let a second unit direct the action. That,
Yes, I
I
think
really
that would
love.
be okay.
Well, actually, maybe just. I like his action. Maybe just get someone else to record the audio would be nice.
Get someone else.
You
Yeah,
like
get
his
someone else
action?
to do the score,
Yeah.
or at least someone who knows how to
I-
apply like a -4 decibel to
I
the
can just
music.
imagine.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the tension in the writers' room. Like, I really love this. I really like where it's going, but what if time was going backwards? No, no, Christopher.
What?
No.
What if?
Here's a great idea. What about if it was Bond from his childhood?
What if we have like?
What if we get
flash
Q
back?
to do some exposition for about half an hour, but we do it mumbled and nobody can hear it
on.
and it's incoherent?
It's a Japanese tech billionaire who's created a wormhole, and James Bond goes back in time and has to deal with his parents and school.
Yeah.
Guys, hear me out. Moneypenny recast as Michael Caine. I think it's controversial, but it'll work.
Bond is unhappy with his life, and he wishes into a vortex, and then he falls into the vortex, and then he wakes up as his 17-year-old self.
What if he transcends time and space and actually sends the message back to himself at the start of the scene, at the start of the film?
We call it James Bound.
James Bound. James Boundless.
Oh my god. No.
No time, because time is a figment of the imagination, and therefore no one has any time. What is time?
No
How
time
do you
to
define it?
dilate. It's the brutal retelling of James Bond's birth.
I love it. I really
Perfect.
want Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan to direct Bond now.
Oh, that would suck. Cool. Well, I think that's a much better ending point to end on something that we all like than Doctor Who.
Hey, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
What
crossed.
about what?
About Doctor
Oh,
Who.
right. Okay. Oh, we're going to bring it
About
back.
liking Doctor Who.
Fingers
That's-
crossed the new Bond movie is good. I agree, Dean. I agree wholeheartedly with you. Brilliant. Rightio. Well,
All right,
thank you
cool.
everybody for listening and watching. If you watched with your eyes and not your ears, it's an odd way to say it.
It is the oddest
We
of
will be
ways
back
to say
next
it.
week, usually around this time. Who knows?
Whatever time Dean joins the call.
Exactly.
Whatever, whenever that may
We aim
be.
for 9, but it's like a
Yeah.
soft 9:20.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the podcast, it will be up. We're starting to put them up on Spotify and anywhere that you can get a podcast. So, download it, listen to it, like it if you want. That helps us a ton.
Yeah.
Sub to the YouTube channel if you're one of the ear listeners. No, eye listeners.
Ear listeners?
Sorry, shut up. It's
Ear listeners.
an ear boy.
As opposed to listening through your eyes.
That's right.
Where
We can pull them out. But yeah, that's it. Awesome. Thank you,
Great.
thank you, fellas, for joining me. And
Thank
everyone
you.
have a
Thank
safe
you.
and wonderful week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You too,
You
mate.
too.
You too.
You too.
Goodbye.
You too.
Goodbye.
You too.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Kisses. Bye.